Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the 4th episode of For the Booze.
For the booze.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Can I be everybody?
You are part of everybody, yes.
All right. Hey, how you doing?
Hey. So today we are going to jump into the world of YouTube.
YouTube, that's like my favorite one.
I know.
Of all the tubes available, that's my favorite tube.
The YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube.
The YouTube. Okay. So we've done a few of the big mainstreamed things, and I think we're going to kind of sprinkle in a little bit of the YouTube channels and things that we watch on there. Not very well known, but well known to us for sure.
I don't know. I'd say they're pretty well known. They've got like, I think the last time I looked, they got like 230,000 subscribers. So they're not that unknown.
I mean, that's a lot, but for like the vast majority of people who don't like actually watch paranormal stuff, you know what I mean? But they know who.
But I feel like
Ghost
if people are
Hunters
listening
and
to
Ghost
this,
Adventures are.
then they probably lose paranormal.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. Did I just say that?
Yeah. How's that taste?
All right. So, anyways, today is Paranormal Nightmare TV.
Or better known as Living Dead Paranormal LLC. Because I just found out that they were an LLC. I had no idea.
Yes, they formed their LLC on July 27th of 2020. So
that's crazy.
Not even that long ago.
I'm trying to fathom this idea and why do you have to be an LLC to investigate the paranormal?
Well, I mean, there's a lot more groups and stuff popping up, so I'm assuming it would be for keeping namesake theirs.
I guess.
Type of thing.
I mean, it makes sense.
And they have merch and all that other stuff, so I mean, it kind of makes sense.
I just didn't know. I didn't really understand it when I saw it. I don't know. It just kind of caught me off guard that it was its own business, like LLC.
Yeah, because I think the last time I went to their Facebook page, it was not there, and then we were doing our little researchy stuff today, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, well, upon a bunch of research, because I swore that the last time I would do more research, and I did, but dude, I hit a wall.
Okay, so
the wall was hard.
Looking up stuff for these guys was a little rough.
It was challenging.
There's not much out there, which I get. They're family guys; they all have families, and they want to keep stuff a little private. I get that. But...
Well, you know what it was is that I found a bunch of stuff, and so did you. Mm-hmm. But it was all the stuff we found almost said the exact same thing
across
was
the
problem,
board.
which I respect. Look, like you said, they're family guys, so they try to keep their personal shit out of the limelight,
right?
Which is fine. I get that,
Absolutely.
But it makes doing a show on them kind of hard.
Yes.
And I had to listen to another podcast for blasphemy.
Yes, we did.
Shout out to them.
Another podcast. It was
Phantom
Faction.
Yeah, it wasn't bad actually. If you're digging the paranormal, you should go check them out. I know they're on Apple Podcasts.
They did a video call with them, or a over the phone call with them. It was just asking them questions and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. It was nice to listen to.
Well done. Them Canadians do everything better than us.
Yes,
damn it,
they do.
Fucking Canadians.
All right, so all of our information today may be a little mixed and jumbled, and we might say a couple things quite similar to another, but they're all different, I promise, except for maybe a few lines. So Living Dead Paranormal is a paranormal group founded in 2007 by 3 brothers, Josh, Rocky, and Shaun.
The boys!
Yes. The Fourman brothers have had a keen interest in the paranormal since experiencing paranormal activity in their childhood home. Now, their interest has become a passion to discover what lies beyond and uncover the truth. Living Dead Paranormal has embarked on a mission to investigate reputedly haunted locations across the country in order to film and document unexplained paranormal activity.
Ooh.
Hey. They've been on for a long time. They've gone to a lot.
They've been on
of places.
About as long as Ghost Adventures has been on.
Yeah, but just been on YouTube and, not out of the mainstream media.
All right, so I put a lot of thought into this today, right? And I was like, well, how have these guys been around for so long, yet all these new shows and stuff keep popping up, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's a matter of, some people don't mind faking some shit.
Right.
But some of them do.
Right.
And I think that when it comes to media and television and stuff, I think it's more beneficial to people who don't mind fudging a little bit of evidence to get the views.
Yeah.
So I think guys like the Foreman brothers, you know, who are, in my opinion, probably some of the best ones out there. Because, like, look, and I get it. If you watch them, I understand that sometimes maybe it's boring, but it's boring because you don't catch evidence every time.
Right.
It's not
It
how
doesn't
it. That's not how it works.
every single time.
Exactly.
It just doesn't work like that.
So I appreciate that they put out those ones that aren't necessarily the most riveting episodes because it's just a part of reality.
Absolutely.
You know, every home you go into, sometimes they're crazy, or sometimes they're making shit up.
And I like that they don't just go out to do these big, huge places like that everybody does, everybody goes to. Like, they wanted to help other people that had the same stuff that happened to them when they were kids in their childhood home. It is happening to other people.
Wait, what do you mean? What happened to them when they were kids?
Okay. So,
They had something happen?
We were listening to that podcast, right? So,
Phantom Factions, by the way. Go check them out on Apple.
we had heard them talking about playing with Ouija boards, but then later on they were talking about they were littler, I guess, like hiding under blankets and stuff when things would happen. So I guess they didn't live in a haunted house. But then all of a sudden they absolutely lived in a haunted house.
Well, it's really funny you say that because I reached out to them today. And I don't know which one who actually gets back. I think it's Rocky.
I'm pretty sure.
But he was actually pretty cool, and he had sent me a message. And part of it was kind of vague, but it basically alluded to the fact that they did grow up in a house that was not haunted. And through some circumstances, which we found out from the podcast, which was playing with Ouija boards and stuff, it had then become haunted.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a very normal case of don't fuck with stuff you don't understand, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean...
Ouija boards are not board games.
No, well, I mean,
Just saying.
they're made by Parker Brothers, though.
Okay,
I'm
but...
just saying. Or Milton Bradley. I don't remember.
They aren't for me.
I'll play with them.
I will not. Absolutely
Bring
not.
me, you're tired, you're hungry, and you're demonic. I don't...
So, from what they had said, playing with Ouija boards or whatever, all of a sudden their house was haunted. All of a sudden. So they said that their dad really just kind of tuned it out. He didn't really believe. Like,
Such
he
a
was
dad
just
thing
like,
to do.
whatever. You know, like, y'all are crazy. Mom definitely noticed some shit going on.
Such a mom thing to do.
Yeah, she definitely noticed some stuff. But, like, the boys has always said, like, they, on the podcast, they said they brought dark shadows into their house. They made...
Like when they were kids?
Yeah, from doing this. Or, like, whenever this thing went down. Because, like I said, all this has been so vague.
I missed a lot of that podcast because I was making 8-hour ribs for you.
Yeah, so good.
Did they not say that they were playing with it in the house?
I'm not sure. It was like the very first pop-off question, and they just started saying they played with Ouija boards.
Well, because
as a kid.
to say that they brought them into the house would, to me, seem like they might have done it elsewhere. You know, because look, I'm not trying to be mean, but these dudes they're country as shit. So I mean, was this like we did the shit out in the barn and brought it into the house type stuff?
I don't think so. I think it was like in the house, like, and all of a sudden, just the house was haunted, like crazy. So they'd have like footsteps in the attic, balls of light, and I guess Josh, he got really sick, and it was like he was shrouded in. They said he was like shrouded in darkness. And the ball of light was the only thing that, like, made this go away. But this went on for, like, a long time.
They say it was almost like a coma.
Yeah, he was, like, in a crazy coma with crazy high fevers. And
wow.
I don't know. It was just
I'm very curious to, like, find
interesting.
out, like, what he might have actually, like, what he was diagnosed with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, because I know they took him to the hospital, and, like, he was in there for at least a few days. And, like, that's scary, you know?
Oh, it's totally. I have little kids, so I
Yeah.
totally see how that's scary.
So then apparently after that, they moved out of the home sometime after these things were happening.
Yeah, I know. I take these sunglasses off. They're killing me.
I know. I don't know why you're wearing sunglasses
I
inside.
was trying to create a mood.
But it's on their bucket list now as paranormal investigators to go back and investigate their childhood home, which I think is super cool. Because, again, they do a lot of residential stuff because that's where they started.
I'll be honest, more than anything, I want to stay the fuck away from my childhood home.
You have different reasons for that.
But no, like, I get it. Especially, like, that's like where they grew up. They grew up together. Their family was. So, man, I'd love to see that episode.
I know, that would be
I
so
wonder
cool.
who lives there. We should all petition, like, start writing
Well,
these
they
people.
asked them, they're like, well, have you ever been back to, like, see the people and, like, ask them if they've had anything? They were like, nope. Ain't nobody
crazy.
ever been back there.
That'd be super interesting, though. Like, because I know that they still live, basically. I don't... I don't know exactly. The information on them was super hard to find.
Yes.
So like I know it was like Greenville,
Greenville, Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes.
Okay, but I found things that said that's where they live now. I've
And
seen
then
things
there's,
that
like, New
I've seen
Madison.
things that said that that's where they lived before.
Yeah.
I've seen other like 4 other places. I don't know if they like live in the same town. I don't know if they know who lives in the house, but it would be super interesting if they at least could like make a connection to the people that live there now
Currently,
to be able
right.
to go there and be like, hey,
Do you guys have anything happen?
you guys haunted this fucking year or what?
Sorry about that.
But then they go back and like investigate it.
Yeah.
You know, I would watch the shit out of
I know
that.
that would be super, super cool.
That'd be a super bummer if it was on them episodes and nobody found anything.
Right.
But then it would be like, did it follow you?
Yeah. Oh, well,
But-
they don't ever talk about anything after like being in their homes.
Well,
and
they've
stuff.
legit said on that podcast that they had over like 300 investigations under their belt,
Yeah.
right? Which in this podcast was in 2020.
Yeah.
So it's not even that current.
Yep.
So like, just like we said during the first episode with Ghost Adventures, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you do enough of this, you'd think you'd sometimes bring something home with you.
Well, and I know they said that one of the brothers, I can't remember who, but like he was being woken up at 4 a.m. exactly for like 2 weeks after an investigation.
It's got to be Shaun,
single
right?
night.
Because Shaun gets fucked with the most.
He does.
Poor
he
guy.
does, and he started out like the most skeptical of them all.
Yeah, he ain't skeptical
Like
now.
Josh and Rocky were like done. They were like, I'm in, and Shaun was like, meh, and they fuck with him all the time. All the time, he's always the one running out of a room and getting chased out,
Getting touched.
getting touched. Yeah.
Getting stabbed in the side with needles at Penhurst.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
crazy.
know. Didn't even stop until he went outside. He had to walk all the way through the building and kept feeling it the entire way. That's
Gross.
crazy.
I fucking hate needles.
I know. So they originally started their first YouTube channel.
Mhm.
It was Fourman Brothers 04.
No, it was Fourman04.
Fourman 04.
Fourman 04.
Excuse me. And we went back and watched it from the very beginning today. And we had kind of skipped forward and went in like halfway where they were actually doing like investigations.
Well, because in the beginning it was during those times of YouTube where people weren't doing hour-long videos.
Right.
YouTube used to be this vast, atrocious land of 10-minute videos
Yeah.
or 3-minute videos, and they were on there for that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like the pioneer. They're basically some of the pioneers of paranormal YouTube channels
Yeah.
because they were making videos on the paranormal back when they were like 1.5-minute clips, 3-minute clips.
they were basically making
5-minute clips.
trailers
Yeah.
of their investigations.
And as you go forward in the beginning, you start to see, then it goes 5 minutes, then
Yep.
it goes 10 minutes,
Yep.
and then it's like 15 minutes, and then you get 20 minutes, then you got 40 minutes. So like you can watch the progression
Yeah.
happen. So these guys were very much amongst the group of original paranormal YouTubers, you know, and to this day, what is it, like 13, 14 years later, they haven't changed their investigation style.
No,
They haven't.
not at all.
They haven't overproduced their show.
Thank
they
God.
haven't made. They haven't started making up shit just to make everybody happy.
Mm-hmm.
They're legitimately being a paranormal investigation team that is just posting their investigations, whether they, have evidence or not. They show you,
Yeah.
and that's important to people who really care about this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Because you want to know that there's people out there that are willing to show you that there isn't always something. It can't always be
Right.
this massive thing.
And I mean, and there are episodes where they go in and they're like, yeah, we might have had like a feeling, but other than that, we didn't catch shit. Which is awesome because like you watch these other things and they're just like constant stuff and always on it, and it's just so crazy like the entire time, and that's just, it really is not how it works.
Yeah,
It just doesn't work like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't.
Like they haven't sold out, and I absolutely appreciate that.
Well, you can't. There's not always going to be. All right. So what I'm saying, like, right. Everybody knows Waverly Hills is haunted as fuck. I don't care.
Yes.
I don't care if you believe or not. Shit happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people have had experiences there to say that there isn't.
Same kinds,
But
over and over.
just because